as the world's foremost expert on when the Switch is going to get Netflix, apparently, I think it's fair to ask the question, is the Switch going to get Netflix? And the other streaming apps like Amazon Video and Disney+. If you asked this question when the Switch launched back in 2017, you would have sounded stupid, like me making a Whoopi Goldberg joke to 200,000 people. But here we are, over 3 years in, and we still don't have it, and we don't have any idea of when it'll come. For the first year or two, there were some valid reasons why it hadn't happened, but when I made a video on the issue almost a year and a half ago, it seemed like those reasons were all going away. We'd just gotten YouTube, and it seemed like the other apps, like Netflix and Amazon Video, would be right behind. And yet, here we are. So why haven't these streaming services come to the Switch yet? And will they ever? Hello all 2,340 of you, I'm Redkwan, and will the Switch ever get Netflix? First, I think we need to ask why Netflix, Amazon Video, and Disney Plus haven't come to the Switch yet. And the answer is, it's gotta be Nintendo, right? Netflix is on pretty much everything that can handle it, which just so happens to be pretty much everything. It was on the 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U, as well as just about every device in general. And yet, it's not on the Switch. It doesn't really make sense for Netflix, Amazon, or Disney to not want their service on any device that can get it. And from what these companies have said, it seems like they're on board with doing it. It only makes sense that the thing stopping all this is Nintendo themselves. But wait, that also doesn't make sense. Why would Nintendo want to have a home console that can't do the basic functions a home console is supposed to do? I mean, these services have been on all the other modern systems, even the portable-focused ones like the 3DS. It's just something that people expect to have at this point. For a while, it might have made sense to go without them, because Nintendo probably wanted to focus more on games than video apps, and by putting games first, the Switch was able to rocket off to a very good start. I don't really think that change would have affected anything, unless they marketed it as more of a complete entertainment device, but in any case, it could have been a good strategy at first. And they also had to get the online set up and turn it into the amazing online service we have today, cough cough, and maybe it just takes some time to do and it wasn't a huge priority. But at this point, there's really no excuse. The Switch having Netflix isn't going to make people think the Switch is less about games, with the Switch already as established as it is, and at this point, having these services on there is only a benefit, and people will see it as a more valuable product. The online service is already set up now, and Nintendo doesn't seem to be trying to fix it, which for the record isn't a good thing, but it also means there's no excuse to put Netflix, Amazon Video, and Disney Plus on the thing. So Redkwan, as an expert on Netflix coming to the Switch and overestimating how many people have smart TVs, what could possibly be holding these services back now? Well, I think the only real answer at this point is that Nintendo just doesn't want them on it. It sounds ridiculous, and it is, but that's really the only thing that makes sense. Netflix is on everything, and Netflix seems to want to be on the Switch. It seems pretty easy to do, and there are really no drawbacks at this point. The only thing I can think of is that for whatever reason, Nintendo just doesn't want it to happen. Some possible explanations for this? I'm glad you asked. Possibility uno. Nintendo still thinks that if they have too many streaming services, people will think the Switch is more of an entertainment device than a game console, and they really want people to see the Switch as a games-only device. That makes a little bit of sense, but not a ton. Like I said earlier, I think the way people see it is all in the marketing. If you only market the games, people are going to be interested because of the games, and see it as a game console. Nobody will associate Netflix with the Switch, and nobody is going to look at the Switch, see that it has streaming apps, and then say, well, I would have bought it until I saw it had Netflix on it. No game console of mine will be polluted, so. Also, it already has Hulu and YouTube, and while those are a little different than the other three, they're close enough that it still doesn't seem like it's totally Nintendo's plan. Possibility dos. Nintendo thinks that if we have the option to use Netflix on the Switch, we're going to be satisfied with that and not feel the need to buy more games. Is this a possibility? Technically yes, but in reality probably not. The decision between watching something and playing something is real, and Nintendo does benefit from the decision to play a game instead of watching a show or movie, because they get some of the money from the purchase. But at the same time, pretty much everybody with a Switch has another way to watch stuff, and they can still make that choice without the option of the Switch. In fact, having Netflix, Amazon Video, and Disney Plus on the Switch might get people to buy more games, because they'll just get used to using their Switch more. Again, it seems possible-ish, but still kinda dumb. And possibility trace, Nintendo thinks that people don't really care, and that it won't benefit them to do it. Maybe Nintendo thinks everybody has smart TVs, which they don't, for the record. Some of us have dumb TVs. My TV has an IQ of 40. How am I supposed to watch Netflix, Nintendo? But in reality, it's true that a lot of people do have other ways to watch Netflix and other streaming apps. But it's definitely not everybody, and even the ones who do have another way could definitely benefit from using the Switch for it too. The Switch has a fairly large portable screen, so even if it isn't needed on the TV itself for a lot of people, taking a fairly big screen around the house with a kickstand that sometimes works, now that's useful. Maybe Nintendo really wouldn't get that much of a benefit out of it, but at the very least, there are hundreds of thousands of people who are angry at them, and it seems pretty easy to do. And who knows, maybe some people who wouldn't have bought it will actually buy the Switch if it gets Netflix, Amazon Video, and Disney+. So Nintendo, let's get it done. Except let my video on it keep doing well, please. I kinda need it, actually. Well, I'm Redkwan. Do you want Netflix or the other streaming apps on the Nintendo Switch? Why do you think they haven't come yet? Why did my other video get such a bad like to dislike ratio? Was it the weird smart TV jokes? Was it all the Whoopi Goldberg fans? It's fine, I'm over it. Anyways, I'm Redkwan, thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.